what's up? It's Richie here, Statifying Football. This is week 5 for the college games. These are the noon games. A big SEC game with Arkansas and Georgia, both in the top 10. Arkansas beat number 7 Texas A&M 20-10. KJ Jefferson only 7 of 15, but 212 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and added 50 rushing yards. Traylon Burks went off for six catches, 167 receiving, and 1 long touchdown reception. Georgia did whatever they wanted against Vanderbilt. It was 62-0. They won. They were up 35-0 after the first quarter. JT Daniels only played the first quarter, 9 of 10, 129, and 2 touchdowns. Stetson Bennett, 151, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 532 total yards there. Defensively, they only allowed 77 total yards and forced 3 turnovers. I think this will be a pretty close game. I think Georgia might be the best team in the country as of right now, even better than Alabama. I think Arkansas is much better than people are giving them credit for. I'm kind of going back and forth with this. Georgia's favored by 18.5. I think it's going to be way closer. I'm putting Georgia on upset alert. I do think Georgia wins, but this might come down to like a last-second field goal. But I got Georgia winning that one. All right, Michigan and Wisconsin. Michigan beat Rutgers only 20-13. Cade McNamara passed for 163. They didn't have a whole lot. It was a defensive battle. They were able to escape with. Wisconsin, they lost 41-13 to Notre Dame, but it really was much closer than that. It was tied at 10 going into the fourth quarter. Wisconsin had a field goal to go up 13-10. The following kickoff, Notre Dame returned that for a touchdown. And then basically they had 2 pick sixes later on to make it look like a worse score than it was. Graham Mertz, 240 passing, 1 touchdown. He did throw 4 interceptions that game. They turned it over 5 total times there. Defensively, they did have 6 sacks. This, I think, will be a pretty low-scoring game, but I really like what Michigan's doing this season with running the ball and with their defense, and I think their quarterback won't make many mistakes. I'm going to go Michigan winning this one. All right, Tennessee, Missouri, this could be a shootout. Tennessee did lose 38-14 to Florida, but their offense was able to put up some points, at least in the first half, and move it pretty well. Hendon Hooker, 221 passing, 2 touchdowns for Tennessee. Missouri lost an awesome game in overtime to Boston College, 41-34. Connor Bazelak, 303 passing, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. I think this is going to go back and forth. I'm kind of giving the edge to Missouri. Missouri's picked by 3, and that's about what I figured. But I think this is going to be a high-scoring game, and this is going to be a fun game. But I'm going to go Missouri in the end to win. All right, Charlotte and Illinois. This is kind of a tricky one. Illinois hasn't been doing very well. They won their first game and have lost 4 in a row. Charlotte is 3-1 on the year. Charlotte, they beat Middle Tennessee State 42-39. Chris Reynolds, 339 passing, 4 touchdowns, plus 1 rushing. Calvin Camp ran for 101 on a touchdown. Grant Dubose had 9 catches, 114 and 2 touchdowns. And Victor Tucker had 5 catches, 108 yards. They put up 559 yards of offense there. Illinois, they lost a close game, only 13-9 to Purdue. They couldn't get a whole lot going offensively. Joshua McCray, he had a really good game running, 156 yards. I'm going to give this slight edge to Illinois. Illinois is favored by 11. I think it might be closer than that. I'm going to put Illinois on, quote, upset alert, but I'm going to say Illinois ekes out a victory against a really good Charlotte team. All right, Pittsburgh Panthers and Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. This is actually a good game in the ACC. Pitt is 3-1. Georgia Tech had a huge upset victory against North Carolina. Pitt, they did whatever they wanted against New Hampshire, 77-7. Kenny Pickett, 403 passing, 5 touchdown passes, and 1 rushing. Rodney Hammond ran for 100 yards and 3 touchdowns. Jordan Addison, 6 catches, 179 and 3 touchdowns. It's 707 total yards of offense. Defensively, they only allowed 160 yards. They had an interception return for a touchdown and a safety in the game. Georgia Tech, like I said, they destroyed North Carolina 45-22. Jeff Sims came off the bench, passed for 112 and a touchdown, ran for 128 and 3 touchdowns. They ran for 261. Defensively, they had 8 sacks and forced 3 turnovers in that game. This should be a really, really good game. Pick is picked to win by 3. I'm going to give Kenny Pickett a slight edge over probably Jeff Sims will start at quarterback for Georgia Tech, but watch out for Georgia Tech. I'm going to go with Pitt, though, to win. All right, Duke and North Carolina. Duke had a nice win against Kansas. 52-33. Gunnar Holmberg, 328 passing, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Plus, he ran for 88 yards and 4 rushing touchdowns. Mateo Durant ran for 124 and a touchdown. Jake Bobo, 7 catches, 105. They had 607 yards of offense. They did give up 530 yards to Kansas, and now they're playing a really good offense in North Carolina that's really mad that they just lost to Georgia Tech. And like I said, they lost 45-22. Sam Howell, 306 passing, 2 touchdowns, plus 1 rushing. Emery Simmons, 3 catches, 110 yards. They turn it over 3 times. I'm going to say North Carolina is the one that bounces back here and beats Duke. All right, Minnesota and Purdue. I don't know what the fuck to say about Minnesota. Minnesota looked really good against Ohio State to begin the season. Then they barely beat Miami of Ohio from the MAC. Then they destroyed Colorado from the Pac-12 30-0. And now they just lost to Bowling Green 14-10. Bowling Green was 30.5-point underdogs. One of the biggest statistical betting line upsets in college football history. And Minnesota lost. They lost 14-10. Tanner Morgan was terrible. 5 of 13, 59 yards, 2 picks. Trayson Potts has done really, really well, though, filling in for Mohamed Ibrahim. I think it's his 3rd straight 100-yard game, 141 rushing. They turned it over 3 times. Defensively, they had 4 sacks and they only allowed 192 yards of offense. They just couldn't do anything offensively themselves. Purdue came out with an eked-out victory over Illinois, 13-9. Jack Plummer started, passed for 95, couldn't do much. Aiden O'Connell came in, passed for 182, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, but it was the winning touchdown there. I don't know what to think about Minnesota, really, or Purdue. These are kind of very inconsistent teams. Purdue is picked by 2.5 to win. I'll go with Purdue there. It's just I don't really know what else to say. I'm gonna go with Purdue with I just have a feeling. All right, Toledo and UMass. Toledo beat Ball State 22-12. Carter Bradley, 144 passing, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. DeQuan Finn came in at quarterback, also ran for 106 and a touchdown. They ran for 272 yards offensively. Defensively, they had 4 sacks and a safety. UMass got killed by Coastal Carolina 53-3. Brady Olsen only 86 passing yards. They only had 158 total yards. I think Toledo should be able to beat UMass pretty handily in this game. All right, Texas and TCU, big game in the Big 12. Texas destroyed Texas Tech 70-35. Casey Thompson was great, 303 passing, 5 touchdowns, plus 1 rushing. Bijan Robinson, 137 rushing yards. Xavier Worthy, 5 catches, 100 yards, 3 receiving touchdowns. He had 639 yards of offense. Defensively, they did have an interception return for a touchdown, but they gave up 520 yards to Texas Tech, and TCU does have a pretty good offense as well. TCU lost in a shootout to SMU 42-34. Max Dugan, 276 and 3 touchdowns. Zach Evans ran for 113. Tay Barber, 5 catches, 114 and a touchdown. They did force 3 turnovers. That would be key for TCU to beat Texas in the game, is force turnovers. I think Texas might be really good on offense this year, and I'm going to get Texas with the victory here. All right, Memphis and Temple. Memphis lost on a last-second field goal to UTSA 31-28. Seth Hennigan, 329 and a touchdown. Sean Dyke, 6 catches, 167. Calvin Austin, 6 catches, 142 and a touchdown. Temple did what they wanted against Wagner, 41-7 victory. DeJuan Mathis, 292 passing, 2 touchdowns. Jose Barbone, 8 catches, 130. Defensively, they only allowed 159 yards of offense. I think Memphis bounces back this week and gets a big win over Temple. Western Michigan and Buffalo, big game in the MAC. Western Michigan had a really nice win against San Jose State from the Mountain West. They won 23-3. Caleb Ellaby, 200 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. It was really their defense. They only allowed 119 yards, 3 turnovers, and had 8 sacks in that game. Buffalo, they won. They beat Old Dominion 35-34. Old Dominion lost. They missed an extra point at the very end that allowed them to lose. Kyle Van Treese, though, passed for 191, 1 touchdown, and 1 rushing. Keon Williams, 9 catches, 134, and a touchdown. Defensively, they had 4 sacks, 3 turnovers, a fumble return for a touchdown, and blocked field goal return for a touchdown here. This could be a pretty high-scoring game, a pretty fun game to watch. I'm going to give a slight edge to Western Michigan because I think Caleb Ellaby at quarterback is better than Van Treese at Buffalo. The running game is actually kind of even. Buffalo's been known for their running game the past few years, but the running game for both teams are really good, so I'm giving that slight edge to Western Michigan, but that should be really, really close and probably a pretty high-scoring game there. All right, big game in the ACC. Louisville, Wake Forest. whatever the over is 61.5. Take the over. This is gonna be a really fun game to watch. Louisville, they beat FSU 31-23. Malik Cunningham 264 passing, 2 touchdowns, plus 56 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. Defensively, they had 6 sacks in that game. Wake Forest destroyed Virginia 37-17. And Wake Forest is ranked at 24 now. Sam Hartman 270 passing, 3 touchdowns. Defensively, they had 6 sacks against Virginia. This is going to be a fun game to watch. I'm kind of Wake's favorite. I'm kind of leaning Louisville. Wake has looked awesome, but Malik Cunningham is great this year. Dark horse Heisman. I don't know if he can destroy everybody again, maybe, but I don't know. I'll give this slight edge to Wake Forest. I'm kind of gonna regret it. I think Malik Cunningham may make one mistake, and that might be all. That might be it for him to do. He might be an awesome game, but if he fumbles it once or throws an interception once, that could be it for Wake Forest offense. So I'm gonna Wake Forest at the end here. All right, a pretty nice game in the Sun Belt. Appalachian State and Georgia State. App State, they beat Marshall 31-30. Chase Bryce 283 passing, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Nate Knoll 187 rushing. Corey Sutton 10 catches, 127 yards and a touchdown. Thomas Hennigan 9 catches, 123 at 566 total yards there. Georgia State almost upset Auburn. They allowed a 4th and 9 touchdown with like 40 seconds left to go. They lost 34-24. They were up 24-19 until that 4th and 9. Darren Granger 117 passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, plus 61 rushing. Tucker Gregg ran for 150 yards and a touchdown. They did run for 267 yards against Auburn, and because of that, I think I'm going to put Appalachian State on upset alert if Georgia State can get that running game going. But I will say Georgia State in the end will end up winning. All right, USC and Colorado. USC looked horrible against Oregon State. They lost 45-27. Keaton Slovis 355, 1 touchdown, but he did throw 3 interceptions. Drake London 10 catches, 165 receiving, and they turned over 4 times, which they couldn't do that against Oregon State. Colorado got killed by Arizona State 35-13. They pretty much have nothing going on offense. Brandon Lewis 7-17, 67 yards and 39 rushing. I do think USC bounces back and gets a big victory against Colorado. Colorado really has a very anemic offense. They have Jerk Broussard running back, and that's about it. So I'm going to go USC there. Kind of a big game here. Cincinnati, Notre Dame, both are ranked. Personally, I think both are overrated. Cincinnati coming off a bye 2 weeks ago. They beat Indiana 38-24. Desmond Ridder 210 passing, 1 touchdown, plus 45 rushing yards and a touchdown. Defensively, they forced 4 turnovers and had a kick return for a touchdown. Notre Dame beat Wisconsin 41-13, but it was way closer than that, actually. They had 31 points in the 4th quarter. 1 on a kick return for a touchdown and 2 on interception returns for a touchdown. Jack Cohn 158 passing and a touchdown. They only had 9 rushing yards in that game. It was their defense that won. They forced 5 turnovers. They had 2 interception returns for a touchdown and a kick return for a touchdown. I think Cincinnati is actually going to win this game. I don't think that's going to mean anything. I think Cincinnati will probably lose 1 or 2 later on, but I do think Cincinnati will win that one. All right, Louisiana Monroe and Coastal Carolina. ULM had kind of an unexpected victory, in my opinion, against a pretty good Sunbelt team in Troy, 29-16. Rhett Rodriguez threw for 131 and 1 touchdown. Andrew Henry ran for 108 and a touchdown. Defensively, that's what helped them win. They had a safety and an interception return for a touchdown. Coastal Carolina, one of the best teams in the country, destroyed UMass 53-3. Grayson McCall, 162 passing, 2 touchdowns, plus 1 rushing. Javon Haley, 5 catches, 118 and a touchdown. They had 558 total yards. Only gave up 158 total yards. I think ULM will be way overmatched in this one, though. I think Coastal Carolina cruises. They're picked by 34.5. That actually seems about right. All right, and the final one of the noon games, Eastern Michigan Eagles against the Northern Illinois Huskies. This is kind of a big game for bowl possibilities. Eastern Michigan is 3-1. Northern Illinois is 2-2. Eastern Michigan beat Texas State 59-21. Ben Bryant 228 passing, 3 touchdowns, plus 52 rushing and a touchdown. They were just under 500 total yards and had 4 sacks defensively. Northern Illinois beat Maine 41-14. Rocky Lombardi 282 passing, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, plus ran for 119 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. Harrison Whaley ran for 130 and a touchdown. Cole Tucker 4 catches, 114. They put up 574 yards of offense. This could be a pretty high scoring game. It says Northern Illinois is picked to win by 2. I'm gonna go with that one and say Northern Illinois wins a close game. So those are my noon picks for the Saturday Week 5 college games. Check out my other videos. Peace.